to release some of those trigger points as well, especially in the pec that might jump a bit, quad also. So any jumping is normal, and it can be a little uncomfortable sometimes, but it's usually alright. Again, anytime you want me to stop or something, feel free to. They call it dirt chi, or a local twitch response. Basically what's happening is I'm stimulating the muscle, the nerves connect to that muscle, that nerve goes to your spinal cord up into your brain, and then that sort of allows the brain to become aware of this muscle, sends down some pain-killing chemicals, so endorphins, serotonin, everything else gets released into your body, so you get a global effect from that. You also get a stimulation from that nerve back to that muscle and all the other muscles that nerve connects to. So you get a local, a sort of regional and a global response from a needle. There's literally a ridge line, you can feel the tension through this. You feel the difference?
Yeah.
So through here, as soon as I come into that part, and you can see even if as I go over it, sometimes you get this little triggers through there. So I'm going to go quite superficial, just into that muscle there. So I just did a little manipulation to your elbow joint, and as I let your arm relax now, it drops into more fuller flexion, not quite into full flexion, extension, but just then as I press down, it falls into it easier. Comes out. So I released your bicep a bit, but it's thanks to maybe a manipulation in your elbow that did that. So that's allowed me to get enough relaxation there for me to put a few needles.
What's up, everyone? So I'm just getting into a little acupuncture this week. I've actually been in London for the last week or so, just kind of winding down after the competition in California. I did a seminar on Saturday, went pretty well. Everyone seemed to, at least get some good tips. Everyone seemed happy with what they learned, so I was definitely happy with that, especially since it was my first international seminar. But kind of getting to the acupuncture, you just saw Rich. I'm out here on Old Street in London, but Rich was just going through a couple things, just kind of explaining to me different trigger points in the muscles and how everything kind of interacts with the nerves. So when I came in, I was just a little bummed. I was just a little beat up from my competition, mostly my right quad, my right chest, and in my left elbow, which a lot of you I told before. I was having issues with my left arm where I couldn't get it straight. So when I was in the US, I couldn't really do much about it because I was so close to competition. So I didn't want Dave to work on it too much to the point where I wouldn't be able to recover, especially with the left elbow and my right pec. So now that the competition's over, I'm probably not competing until April. I have plenty of time for someone to really dig into there. So I primarily had him work on the right quad, where I just seemed to have a strain towards the bottom, right near the teardrop. The right pec, which had been severely knotted up going into competition, I was actually extremely worried that it might actually tear. Luckily, it held together. Even though I didn't really hit the number that I wanted on bench, I was still able to hit a high enough number, 495, to still get the world record total. So that was good. As you can see, he got in there. He broke that up a lot. I can feel my shoulder mobility on that side is way better. The range of motion got better. He did a lot with my left elbow, where he actually got it almost back to where it was. It's pretty much as straight as my right arm is, which is great. I didn't even think that would be possible, in all honesty, because I was pretty sure I was going to have to switch to now pulling underhand with the right arm. So I actually might be able to stick to the left, which would be great. So, yeah, he just worked on all those things. I mean, it felt a lot better. It's actually the first time I got acupuncture, so I was a little nervous going in. Didn't really know what to expect, but he brought me through everything great, so I was definitely happy with that. I'll put his information below. If you guys are ever in London, definitely check him out. But besides that, just in general, kind of wanted to just go over how the year went, competition-wise. Most of you who follow me, you saw, obviously I opened the year off with the LA Fit Expo. I broke the world record at 220 with knee wraps for the total. It was a PR, obviously. I hit 21:27, which felt great. It was probably the toughest water cut I ever had, but I was still able to perform, so I was happy about that. Then going into Boss of Bosses in August, I went up against Yuri Belkin and Dan Green. I broke the world record again, hitting 21:50 with the knee wraps, but Yuri happened to outdo me, so congrats to him, hats off to him. And then coming into Reebok Record Breakers, which had a very quick turnaround. I was dealing with a lot of injuries, a lot more than usual. I was just very banged up. I kind of aggravated my SI joint about 5-6 weeks out. That mixed with being sick and losing a decent amount of weight, I went 220 again when I had actually planned on going 242. I decided to go 220 again since my weight was very low. I was sitting around like 235, 237-ish, which is probably a good 10 pounds under what I usually am. So instead of moving up, I decided to just go 220 again. And I finally competed in knee sleeves, which I've been meaning to do for a while, but every time I'm about to do it, someone kind of tricks me into, competing in knee wraps. So it's happy I was finally able to go against those guys like Larry Wheels and Pete Rubish and Jordan Wong. So that was cool. It went really well. I ended up breaking the world record total at 220 for the knee sleeves division now, which was great. That was one that I really wanted to get, and I didn't think I'd be able to ever go 220 again, so that was kind of like a surprise, and it's kind of like a good reward. But I hit 21:01, ended up squatting 810 in knee sleeves, which I believe is number 2 all time at 220, just behind the Mitt Sapir. It's like 10 pounds off the world record, so that was good. I was very happy with that. It was a very clean squat, which is awesome. Bench didn't go hot. It was actually the first time I haven't benched 500 in like 6 or 7 meets, so that kind of sucked, but I kind of had to just get up as much as I could on the board. And then on deadlifts, I pulled 795, which was a new PR. So that was great, because I was actually very worried about conventional. Hasn't been going great, but hit a PR, got the world record total, so everything kind of worked out. Then I came over to, actually then I was in Oakland for a couple days teaching some classes. That was awesome. We did a seminar with Ray Williams, as well as just teaching a couple classes during the week, as well as working with some high school kids, just kind of teaching them some of the strength movements. So had a great time there until the Wednesday after. Then I came over to London for about a week and a half. Now I'm actually in Brussels visiting one of my high school friends, so just traveling a little, winding down, getting ready to start training again. But speaking of training again, I'm probably going to start again in about a week. And more than likely, it's in preparation for the US Open, which I'm sure a lot of you see everybody posting about. That's more than likely my next big meet, unless I do the Arnold Australia first. But just in general, my goals going into that, I'm going to be doing a lot of sumo in this prep, a lot of volume, as well as a lot of technique work. I definitely think I'll be able to pull sumo now in competition. I was very close to being able to do it this time, but just didn't have enough time to work on the grip, so I definitely think I'll be able to by April. I think I'll be pulling low to mid 800s, so definitely stay tuned for that. And yeah, just staying excited, happy with how things progress this year. Just very excited going into next year. Until next time, bye.
It's really interesting with needles because you can feel the quality of the muscle and the tissue around it. You can go into the fascia and you feel how tight the fascia is because it's wrapped around the needle. So as this one especially, so as I'm sort of moving it, I can feel that the fascia's kind of wound itself around the needle, and it's reluctant to move.
It's never coming out.
Just put a bit of tape over it and leave it there. again, there's less of a difference. Before there was that quite solid sort of change. You work with acupuncture, really good. A lot of people would use the needles to stimulate and just leave it, but having sort of deep work done after that, I think is the best for it really. Leaving that, there's a little line through here, but yeah.
All you want is pain face.